Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys. Today is December the 4th, 2022, and today I'm going to be discussing four stocks that are running hot in December. Yes, we have four stocks, names like Nvidia, which had a great week and a close in November, gaining 25%, along with Netflix closing out November as well, gaining 13%. Meta bouncing off the lows, gaining 35%, and XPEV, Xpeng, a Chinese US stock, gaining 70% on the week, right? We're going to discuss all those four stocks and what my targets are moving forward. I'm also going to be taking a look at the S&P 500, which is what you guys are seeing right now. As I mentioned, I was looking for a close above 40.50, and we did get that. But before we dive right in, guys, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And be sure to subscribe to this channel as we do release these videos every Sunday for our members. And if you are interested in trading with us and becoming a member at Wealthy Mentor Trading, on Discord, we do have a December promo or winter promo for 49 bucks. And that entails everything that we're talking about today. We deal with swing trading, day trading, options trading, and getting you ready for the market open every single day. So the link is in the description for that. And as I did mention, right, I was looking at the S&P 500. I wanted to see us break above this trend line right here, this downsloping trend line ever since we hit all-time highs at 48 plus. And we've tested it multiple times, right? And on a trend line, what you want to see is multiple tests, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one most recently, and we finally broke above that, right? I wanted to see a close above 40.50. We got that, and this week is essentially important to me because I want to see follow through, right? Follow through is the most important thing. As you guys know, this candlestick on the weekly is in the middle between 40.50 and 4,000, right? So close above that was healthy, along with the wick not being so prevalent right here, meaning that the bulls were in control and closed near the highs. What I'm looking for this week is the next major step, and that is that 41.25 line. And that is important to me because it is key resistance, right? We bounced off this line right here, which was a major area of support. And on the way up, it turns into major resistance. It is also another area where pretty much it guarantees the second part of the trend change, right? The first one was breaking above this line. The second one is getting above 41.50. And the third one, if you guys have been paying attention to my previous videos, that $4,300 line right here around that 4,300 to 4,350, I would say, right here, 43.31 is another major one right here. So three tests, right, guys? One is to create that trend change, breaking above that downsloping line. The second test is getting another close follow through above that 41.25 line. So that is what I'm looking forward this week. That is my target on the S&P 500. Hitting 41.25 would be great, and closing above that would be excellent, right? So that is the second test. And as I just mentioned right here, that $4,300 line is the next major one. And if we cross that, guys, we are likely going to test all-time highs. It's just that simple, because 4,300 was a major rejection point right here, and it pretty much led us all the way down to that $3,500 line, and pretty much showed us that we are in a bear market. So these three tests need to be proven to me. I'm looking forward to that 41.25 going into this week. On a pullback, we could see 40.50 as clear support. And we also have the 9 EMA all the way down at 3,900 as another major key area of support, guys. All right. So that is the S&P 500 on the weekly time frame. And you guys might be asking, what caused this break above 40.50? Well, it was very simple, guys. As I did mention, the Fed came out and said that they are slowing the pace of the rate hikes as soon as the December FOMC meeting, but there's a long way to go to bring inflation down, right? So that overall brings some sort of relief to the market, and all signs to me point that we might get a December Christmas rally, and this rally could be that line all the way to that 4,300, right? We could see some great volume, some bullish momentum into the semiconductor sector, um, along with the tech sector, right? Those two sectors were some of the leading sectors last year, and they could be the strengths going into 2023. All right, so pay attention to the S&P 500. It looks like we are about to make a run. So the first name on the list is Nvidia. So NVDA is the ticker, and you guys know I was one of those guys that bought in on the Nvidia dip down here at the, I would say around 120, and I rode it pretty high. And you know what? It had a great month, right? Closing November up 25%. Nvidia's chief officer stated that they have been under shipping their GPUs in the gaming segment, and the company expects that their channel inventory would be back up in normal at the end of Q4. So to me, that is some bullish information right there. It is not technical analysis, but it is fundamental analysis. And we do need some fundamental analysis, some bullish momentum uh, on NVIDIA. So what am I looking at? That 172 line is important to me. It is an area of resistance where we got a rejection a couple of weeks prior, and the next week we consolidated. So here we are closing at the very top to close out the week, just under 172. I am looking for a break above that for us to test that 192.50 line. So that is important to me because obviously we've had multiple tests right here back on August where we got rejected and got a push down. So that was some price action along with the price action back into May, along with this being key support when it was all the way up and now on the way up, right? It is key resistance. So it's one of those things where we've broke past this trend line right here, which was a healthy sign. We are above the 9 EMA, which is another bullish sign, and we are testing that 172 line. And all signs point to me that we are going to go shoot up to that 192.5 to test these rejection points, as I did mention back in August. So um, exciting times for NVIDIA, and I definitely see the stock moving higher. So keep your eyes on this, look for volume confirmation, and obviously you do want to see the S&P 500 break towards that 41.25 line, as I did mention. Now on a pullback, right, we do have that 150.5 line as clear support. It is support from previous history, and it is supported by the 9 EMA. So be sure to understand that if we do get a rejection at that 172 line, you could see a pullback down to 150, which is still healthy and it's still containing the uptrend that we've recently been in on Nvidia. All right, so keep your eyes on Nvidia, guys, and also look for AMD, right? It has been a laggard in the semiconductor sector, so that name also might run, as we could move into that name this week for a run up. All right, the next name that was significant and has been pretty significant, much like Nvidia and Netflix, right? We all know Netflix had that big drop on earnings right here. From 339, we dropped all the way to 162. Congratulations to the Bulls that jumped right in. I was one of those guys instructing students. I did get a little early jump start on this name around that 220 mark, and I held, and I'm still holding a position on Netflix. So guys, if you're interested in trading with us, we do have these swing trades on many of these names that we're discussing today, and it is one of those fruitful names like Nvidia, just like Netflix, that have yielded some great gains. All you gotta have to do is have some patience, right, guys? This bear market isn't the worst thing possible. During a bear market, there's so much opportunity, there's so much history that you can look back on, as opposed to if you're running at all-time highs, you really don't know where the pullback might be consistently. But with a bear market, you do know, and the volatility, guys. As a trader, the volatility is great. So look at these as opportunities during these times, and Netflix is one of them. So as I did mention, Netflix has gained 13% to close out the week of November. From a technical standpoint, we have filled the gap, as you guys can see here. Not quite 100%, we're almost there. So I am looking for continued momentum. We did close Friday's session at 320. I'm looking for a move all the way to 339, testing this cluster right here. And it is heavy resistance, guys, because it was the breakdown candle. A few bullish notes is that We are above the 9 EMA, and we are supported currently for the past few weeks by the 9 EMA. So to me, on a pullback, we could see that 279.5 line tested again. Um, that's fair game. We also have 306 as short-term support. But all signs point to a move higher, and I'm looking for a push all the way to 339. We also have the top of this channel at 398. And like I said, if we do get a Christmas rally on the S&P 500, Netflix is definitely going to gain and erase those horrific earnings bomb that we did have pretty much back on April, right? So that is Netflix. Keep your eyes on that one. Another exciting name. Now, another one that I did mention to the students, to my students, right? I did shout this out in the trading lounge, and many people were scared to get into this name, but it is Meta, META, right? Formerly known as Facebook. And as you guys can see here, we did have a massive drop, you know, basically on earnings, and the overall outlook of Meta wasn't so peachy. We did have that bounce from $88, and that is about a 35% gain to close out November, which is pretty good, guys, because we do have a 75% drop from the highs. So it is a nice, healthy bounce. What am I looking at going in, right? So this is the weekly. I gotta zoom out all the way to the monthly to give you guys the clear picture, right? Now, on a monthly, yes, the chart does look ugly, but to me, some things stand out. We are at a point of resistance, nearing that resistance line, which is heavy on the monthly, right? So we have a key point of resistance at 137. We also have a key point of resistance at that 128.50, as we did bounce back there on back in 2019. It's been a long time. So heavy resistance on the way up. It was clear support before, so I am looking for a move above 123 to test the bottom of this channel right here, these candles at 128. So that is my first take profit target. And if we do get a move higher, obviously we're testing the bottom of this wick right here back in 2020 on the way up. It's resistance. 137 is my second take profit target, guys. So um, this name can definitely run up. We do have the 9 EMA pointing lower. We could get even a run up all the way to that 154 area. So Meta has definitely gained a substantial amount after its big drop. Um, like I've mentioned at Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys, like this name isn't going nowhere. Everyone's still using Facebook. Everyone's still using Instagram. Everyone's still using WhatsApp. Meta has a strong hold in the whole social media aspect of things. And as we do know that this generation is social media generation, and names like this just don't get knocked off a pedestal and stay down forever. It's a great investment for a long-term investor. Um, However, as you guys can see here, the past 2 months have been fruitful. You've gained about 35%. That is nothing to sneeze at. So definitely watch Meta for a continued move higher. Now, if we do get a pullback, that 113.5 is clear support, matching this cluster right here and this bounce back on 2017. We are on the monthly chart, so this gives you a clear outlook of the overall aspect of where Meta might land if it pulls back. All right. One last name that was pretty exciting, and it's part of the EV sector, guys. So this name is called XPEV, right? Xpeng is actually the complete name. It is one of those Chinese stocks, so be aware due to the whole, unlisting stuff. Baba had this situation, but to be honest with you guys, all this is fluff information, right? Names like this aren't going nowhere, especially names like Baba. So that's another one that I wanted to discuss, but not at the moment. This name right here spoke volumes to me. It gained 70% on the week alone, closing November pretty strong. So this move was mostly due to the earnings, along with the hopes that the Chinese market would reopen due to the COVID outbreak recently and the restrictions that have been placed on China. It's been a difficult time, so it got a nice bounce. So what am I looking at, right? So pretty much like Nvidia, much like Netflix, we do have that strong support line at that $17 where we bounced off once, twice, back in 2022, and on the way up right now, it turns into heavy resistance. A few things that's supporting that. We also had consolidation at $6. It held $6. That was healthy. We got above the 9 EMA, which was around that $9.50 mark, closing the week above that. That was healthy. So those are two bullish things. I'm looking for continued momentum, right? I'm looking for that test of $17 back where it was pure support. Now it's resistance. A run up is definitely a possibility. If I were to switch over here to the monthly chart, as you guys can see here, the 9 EMA still has a lot of room to run, and it is around that $17 mark. So I'm definitely looking for that continued push to test $17 before we get some sort of rejection. We are also ways below a point where it could run up, right? So we bounced off the weekly oversold, and here we are finally peaking higher. So, guys, if we were to test this area on the RSI around that 57 level, right, which is not oversold, not overbought, just in the middle, we're looking at that $70 line. So it coincides perfectly. So keep your eyes on the EV sector in specifics. Keep your eyes on the COVID restrictions in China being lifted. There's a lot of chaos going on right now. So as traders, we don't care, right? We're looking for those percentage moves. We love the volatility. We invite the volatility. And as traders, it's a welcome sign. So it's one of those names we're also looking at Wealthy Mentor Trading on our Discord channel. So if you are interested, guys, like I said, the link is in the description. And those were pretty much the four names I'm looking at that are definitely going to be running hot in December. I'm looking for that Christmas rally. As long as the S&P 500 continues to move higher, uh, breaking past those three barriers that I did mention earlier in the video. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Please leave a like in the description. Comment if you have anything to say, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys next week, and good luck trading.